can point every direction but can't reach the destination. Some of the brain teasers or visuals I've got are a little because I want it to be light-hearted. The answer is more like this: your finger. You can point it, but you can't go with your finger. All right. So we discuss action verbs. These are the slides that I put it for. We'll come back to it. This is a little difficult. You can't read the answer. Okay. Okay, so there. We'll look at simple past today. What is simple past? Now, the title itself says that it is in the past tense. Okay, but the use of it is a little more complicated. I mean, when uh, when you look at grammar, language in terms of grammar, it actually sounds a little complicated, but it is not if you can it simply. Okay, simple past is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. Now that's very important. Time before now. What is now? Now is this second. Anything in the last second also goes into simple past. Now look at it. Okay, let's read the definition first. Let's get away with that, and then I'll explain to you what actually simple past tense means. The simple past tense is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. The simple past is a basic form of past tense in English. The time of an action can be in the recent past or the distant past, and action duration is not important. Yes, duration is not important because we can always add that by adverb of time. Okay, uh, but look at it now. I told you that a completed action in a time before now. What is now? This second. Anything in the last second also goes into simple past. Let us consider a word build. Okay, or let us say ate. Okay, that's very simple because we all can relate to that word called ate. A-T-E, past of eat. Shahjahan ate grapes with Mumtaz Mahal. Mumtaz. Okay, Shahjahan ate grapes. Now, how far in the history is that? Hundreds of years, right? Shahjahan ate. Now, I ate my breakfast in the morning. Now, look at the word ate. Ate has nothing to do with the duration, how old it is. It is to do with the action that is complete. How old it is depends on what we add after that. Okay, that is called the adverb of time, which we'll think about. Okay, so what is simple past? Simple past is any action that you want to talk about that's already completed, not in the process, it's already completed. And you're not talking about the result of that completed action, you're talking about that action in particular. Okay, see, I visited, I have visited. What a difference. I have visited Bombay. What does this sentence mean? I have visited Bombay means I know, I have been there. I know how Bombay looks like, right? I visited Bombay. In this sentence, I visited Bombay. Just a minute, excuse me. I'm absolutely sorry for that. I apologize. Okay. All right. So where was I? I was talking about simple past. Okay. Let me just recall quickly so that it was a sudden interruption, so I lost my. Yeah. So when we were talking about the comparison between have and simple past, I told you that simple past is all about just past completed action. It is not about the result of that completed action. The result of completed action can be, for example, I have eaten. I give an example, I ate, right? Shahjahan ate grapes. I ate my breakfast. Um, I ate I ate mutton for the first time last year, right? See, last year in the morning and hundreds of years. Ate is what is used. I have eaten. That means I am not hungry now, right? I'm talking about the result of that action. I have eaten my food. The message I'm giving is I'm not hungry anymore. I don't have to order pizza. Like everybody's thinking about, okay, what can we do? Let's order pizza. I say, no, no, I have eaten already. That means, yes, I'm not hungry now. Why you're not hungry? The result of the past action. But in simple past, you just talk about the action that are completed. Okay, doesn't matter how old they are. Okay, and how old they are um, is determined by the adverb of time that we use. Okay, which about which we will discuss further. Okay, so is my voice clear? I haven't have had a check. Is my voice clear? If anybody can respond, if it is audible, you can just respond so that I'll be confident to know that okay, I'm heard. All right. Um, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, now look at that. I give you example. Some of the examples for the simple past is simple past is used to talk about the completed action. Now, the verb that we used, I selected simple past after verb is because now we know that different kinds of verbs we have. What is got? The present of got, get. So get, got. Okay. Die, died, dying, getting in that sense. Okay. India got its independence in 1947. My father died last year. That's factual. I'm just giving an example. See, India got independence in 1947. How old is that? Okay. My father died last year. I can say my father died in 1947. Right? He lived in Delhi in 1976. Little more further. We crossed the river yesterday. How old the action is determined by these things. In 1947, last year, in Delhi in 1976, yesterday, these are called frequency of time, or in this example, they are called adverb of time because they give the reference of time for the action is done. We'll discuss adverb later, but now you just have to understand that the frequency of the how old the action is determined by what we put in the end of it. Okay, but the rule remains simple. After subject, you have the simple past verb. All right, so that is simple past tense. Okay, some of the expressions that we can go with here is let me read it for you. You always use the simple past when you say something happened, so it is associated with the certain past time expressions. Now you will look at the frequency. Okay, some past time expression. What all that we can use? Often, sometimes, always. Okay, I sometimes walked home at lunchtime. Now this is a frequency. For example, if you want to talk about a past habit that comes in the frequency, how did you go? How did you go to school? I always look at that. I always went. That's a habit. In the past, I always went by my bicycle. Okay, I always carried my lunch. So look at that, right? So frequency is when you talk about a time period in the past. We use this kind of often, sometimes, always. Some examples are: I sometimes walked home at lunch. Sometimes is not regular. I think we have looked at it earlier in an earlier session about the frequency words. I often is much more regular than sometimes. Okay, often brought my lunch to school. A definite point in time. Now, a definite point in the sense you know when that action took place. You're sure about it. Then you say, okay, it was last week when I was a child. It is definite in terms of language, not definite in terms of mathematics. Okay, so this is a language actually. So we're not learning mathematics. So don't say last week. Last week when? Now that question doesn't make any sense. But last week, out of all the weeks, last week is still a definite week to talk about. So in sense of language, it's a definite point of time. Last week or when I was a child, so that people can assume, okay, you're between 4 and 5 years old, or yesterday, yeah, 6 weeks ago, right? Some of the examples, we saw a good movie last week. Yesterday, I arrived in Hyderabad. She finished her work at 7 o'clock. Look at 7 o'clock. That is as precise as you can get. Okay. And the most precise things we all are the timings, and with that we use at. Okay. When you want to around 7 o'clock is you're still not very sure. Okay. She finished her work around 7 o'clock. You're not sure. It's around there. At 7 o'clock is when she put up and down. Okay. So I went to the theater last night. Examples. Okay. An indefinite point in time. That is, you are sure in the first example, in the second example, we saw a definite point of time. You are sure about the time period. Indefinite is you don't know, you're not very sure. So the other day, a long time ago, how I don't know. Please don't ask me. Ages ago is another expression for a long time ago. When did you buy uh, when did you buy that shoe? If I say yesterday, it's definite. If I say the other day, I bought it the other day, I don't know. Might be last week. It can be 2 days before. Okay. It can be last month. I have no idea. But in that frequency, the other day, that means what I want to say is I don't know when actually, but in the short time, the past days. The other day, ages ago, a long time ago. Okay. People lived in caves a long time ago. The cavemen. That's a long time ago. That's hundreds, thousands of years, I believe. She played the piano when she was a child. I don't know how old she is. This sentence holds true for even a 50-year-old. That means 10 years before, right? Imagine that. So in simple past is all about talking about action completed, and how what an action that is depends on what you're gonna add. All right. So what adverb of time that you can add. These are the frequencies, some of the words. Please do make note of it, or take a screenshot in your mobile phone so that you have it with you. All right, so you don't have to write down. If this is on your screen, just take a picture so you'll remember. So in the next slide, when we start making some activities, interactions, it will be helpful for you. Okay. All right, so now is the time for the puzzle. I have a puzzle to ask you. Okay, I have got this. I have been taken from the mental app website. So this is not really something that we have taught. So I wanted to give a credit to those people. Yesterday I was just browsing it. I found it interesting. So just to keep you up, so that you guys don't get bored. We were talking about simple past tense, but this is just to shake you up so that curious. Shake your brain now. Out of these pool balls that you see, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15, you need to make, you can place any ball from here to here, and then the result has to be 30. You got to think about it, think quickly. All right, I'll give you about a minute. So let's solve it together. How about that? I know the answer, but I will just help you think. So 15 is the largest. So let's say 15, we'll put 15 plus 15. And the second largest is 13. 15 plus 13 is 28. Oh, we don't have a 2. So we don't have a 2. So we have a 3. That goes 31. All right. So let's go with 13 plus 7, 20. And we have 11. That's 31. It is, I think the rule of maths is that with odd numbers, you will not get an even number. No, but 3 plus 1 is 4, that's even. So can we add 15 plus 7? That is 25. No, that is 22. 22 plus 9, again is 31. Well, this is a little tricky, isn't it? So think about it quickly, 30 seconds more, and I'll crack the answers for you. Now, I'll give you a clue. These are the balls. You can turn them any way around. Okay? You want to know the answer. All right, so let's look at the answer. This question cannot be solved mathematically because the sum of three odd numbers cannot be even. But here the important thing is your attention. When you place the box numbered with 11, 13, you will get 24. Now, that is 11 and 13 is 24. Now, this 9, we can just turn it around and it becomes 6. Yeah, so 24 plus 6 is 30. That was interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go. Let's go to our slide. We were discussing simple past tense. Okay. Okay, now here are some. Here are the before that, just look at it. Affirmative is the positive sentences that we have. I have taken an example of walk. So walk is what? The root verb of that. All right. So we will put different words and see how they all sound. Okay. I is the first person, you the second person, he is the third person singular, we is the first person plural, they is the third person plural. All right. Um, so once again, I is the first person singular, that is the people who are speaking. You is the object, that is the second person. He is the subject, but in the third person. So here, he, she, it can be considered. Okay. And we is the first person plural when you're referring to a group for yourself. So we. They is again the third person plural. Okay. Walk is a verb here. So I walked to I don't know where, for what reason I don't know, how old. I walked 10 miles during World War II. That's the word. I walked to office yesterday. That's just yesterday. I walked 4 kilometers today in the morning. That's again in the morning. So it depends on how old the action is by, like I said, I repeat, by what we add there. Okay, that is the adverb of time. So the negative is, look at it, I didn't walk. The common error is, I didn't walked. And a very common mistake in this category is people say, I didn't knew, right? Oh, did you know that? No, I didn't knew about it. It's wrong. You don't say, I didn't knew. You say, I didn't know, right? Like, I walked, I didn't walk. It's not I didn't walked. I didn't walk. The question, did I walk? You answer for that. You walked. You didn't walk. Did you walk? He walked. He didn't walk. It's negative. Did he walk? Did he walk all 10 kilometers? Answer can be yes, he walked. No, he didn't walk. Okay. For this question, these two are the answers. Did he walk? The first, yes, he walked. Did he walk? No, he didn't walk. We walked. We didn't walk. Did we walk? They walked. They didn't walk. Did they walk? Now, look, we'll change the word from walk to talk. Okay? So, what's the verb talk? The past of talk is talked. Okay, not talked. Okay, it's talk, talked, talking. So I walked, I talked, I didn't talk. Did I talk? You talked. You didn't talk. Did you talk? Now, please, these are very important, okay? Because this in this small expressions people know. If you attend an interview, if you meet somebody while you're traveling, they get to know how good your language is when you make this small mistake. If you say, I didn't know about it, then this guy knows, oh, this guy's verbs are messed up. All right. So all these small things are pretty important for us. Keep them in mind. Okay. The verb is talk. Now I walk. I talked. I didn't talk. Did I talk? Now let's take another word. Write. Write is not a regular verb. What is a regular verb? Yesterday, if you remember, a regular walk is a regular verb. Okay. Why is walk a regular verb? According to the definition that we discussed yesterday, that any verb that takes ed in its past form, okay, is a regular verb. right? And any verb that takes entirely different spelling, it's a little complicated. They don't take ED, they have a different spelling pattern for their past form, and that is irregular verbs. Okay, so write is a irregular verb because the past of write is not righted, it is wrote. Write, wrote, written, writing. So I wrote a letter. Now let's make full sentences. I wrote a letter. I didn't write. As, that's right. So you don't say I didn't wrote. It's wrong. I didn't write. I didn't write a letter to him. You're confused. You've forgotten. Did I write a letter? Right. Now let's look at, for a second person, we'll look at another word. Speak. You spoke. You didn't speak. Did you speak? Okay. He spoke. He didn't speak. Did he speak? Okay. And let's take another word. Cut. We cut the cake. We didn't cut the cake. Did we cut the cake? Right? Sit. They sat. They didn't sit. Did they sit? No. All right. I hope you're clear about this. So in the negatives, the root verb remains a root verb. Why? Because did is already in the past tense. I didn't. I did not is what it means. I did not walk. So did is in the past tense. And you just need one verb to take the sentence in the past. You don't need two verbs to emphasize that. I didn't is enough. Okay? And hence the verb remains in the root form. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a small activity. We'll do it together. All right. What did you do during Deepavali? So what you can do is please write a notebook, take Deepavali. What are the things we did? Remember the activity that we did during. Remember the activity that we did during simple present tense, right? Now it's very simple. It's very simple. During simple present tense activity, we did. We made a list of things that we do during Deepavali. For example, I wake up early, right? I wake up early and I take bath. Now all of this, we have to make, first we have to brainstorm the same thing, and I have I have selected the same topic because it's easier for us to brainstorm on that, and then we can go on to making all this thinking about this past. Okay, so brainstorm on what we do on Deepavali. So I'll help you out during Deepavali. Now we are thinking about simple present tense. Just give me a minute. I'm going to switch on fan on the AC here. Just. Yeah. So during Deepavali, so let's brainstorm together. What do we do during Deepavali? During Deepavali, we wake up early, right? What's the word? I'm going to type all the words, and then we'll look at how we can make them into simple past tense. I'm talking about last Deepavali, last year. Okay. I wake up. Okay, and I take bath. These are the brainstorming things that we're doing. What else do we do? We go to temple, right? We invite friends. Yeah, we invite friends. We crack or burn crackers and buy new clothes, right? So we wake up, we take bath. This is I'm talking about the last Deepavali. I mean, generally what we do during Deepavali, just for the brainstorming, and then we'll see how we can talk about the last Deepavali. Okay, the verb, how the verb changes, and it's not very difficult at all. But whenever I interview people, to check their language skills. When we do this one-on-one session of most of the people make mistakes during the use of simple past tense. Okay, so if you can see, now I always believe that improvement is a conscious effort to reduce the mistakes. You know something today, it's a mistake. Like I told you that I didn't knew is a mistake. So consciously you start um, uh, you don't make that mistake anymore. Consciously, you make an effort to not to do it. That's improvement. Okay, buy new clothes. Um, okay, and what do we do? Decorate the house. Decorate the house. Cook uh, new dishes. I don't know what delicacies you cook, so I'm just yeah. Now let's look at it. Now this is generally what we do, right? I wake up early during Deepavali. I take bath. I go to temple. I invite friends home for Deepavali or on Deepavali, and I burn crackers. I buy new clothes. Now I decorate the house for Deepavali and I cook new dishes. Now think about now last Deepavali. Okay. Now what is the past of wake? Now we are talking about last Deepavali, right? I woke up early, right? I woke up early. I took bath. The past of take is took. Go. The past of go is I went. I went to temple. All right. The past of invite. I invited my friends home. The past of burn. Yeah, it's I burnt. Okay, you don't say burned. Burned doesn't qualify. It's burnt. I burnt crackers. Now look at that. Buy, the past of buy. The past of buy, when we write, it's okay. When we speak, we have to be very clear because the past of bring and buy are a little more confusing. The past of bring, B-R-I-N-G, is brought. The past of buy is bought. Okay, so I bought new clothes, right? So the past of decorate, decorated. I decorated my house, right? The past of cook, not cooked. Again, it is not cooked, it is cooked. Now, put your hand and look at that sound. It's a sort of a silent T sound. Cooked. Okay, not cooked. Asked. It's T sound there, not the sound. Asked is not there. That's not how you say it. Okay, I cooked. I cooked new dishes. Now look at that. It's very simple. In simple present tense, we use the root form. In simple past tense, we use the past verb. That's all. And how old that sentence depends on this. On Deepavali, I woke up. I woke up early. See, I woke up early in the last Deepavali. Okay, that's understood now. You don't have to say last Sunday. Now look at that. I woke up early last Sunday, last Sunday, last Sunday. You don't have to keep saying that. In the conversation, people understand it, right? So now, how old that thing? Some of it I woke up early can be for Deepavali, can be for last Sunday also, right? All right. So now let's just brainstorm quickly. These three things, okay, we'll get over with so that we would have gone through some examples and simple past tense gets frozen in the mind so that we remember it. So think about what you do every Sunday again. generally what we do, and we'll brainstorm that, and then from there we'll go on to simple past, and we'll try and convert all of that. Okay, what do you do usually? What I do, let me brainstorm on Sunday. I wake up late. Okay, I wake up late. I I have breakfast at a restaurant. I have breakfast at a restaurant. I play cricket with friends. I This is what I do Sundays. So I um, um, go. I watch movies with my friends. I wash my bike. I um, what else we do on Sundays? Yeah, I visit local park. I go for a walk in the local park. Okay, now these are enough. Quickly, we'll go through it. So on Sundays, what do we do? So I wake up late. I have breakfast at a restaurant. I play cricket with friends. I watch movies with my friends. I wash my bike. I go for a walk in the local park. Now, how do you? Now think about it. These are the things I do every Sunday. So now I'm talking about last Sunday. It's very simple. What's the past of have? Let's start with wake. The past of wake is woke, like we did that in the previous example. I woke up late, right? Have breakfast at a restaurant. Once again, it's not restaurant, it's restaurant. So I, past of have is had. I had my breakfast at a restaurant. And how is it pronounced? Restaurant. Restaurant, not restaurant. Restaurant, two syllables. Restaurant. Okay. And past of play, I played with my friends. Okay, I played with my friends. And the past of wash, I washed. Now again, not washed, it's washed. I told you, remember that. The silent T sound. Washed. I washed. I washed my bike. Clean my bike. That's okay. And I go for a walk in the local park. The past of go, we looked at earlier. I went for a walk. I went for a walk in the local park. So good. Now you guys can. I'll give you some time. I'll give it to you as a homework. So when you go when you go back home today, please think about best time you had in the last year, right? For example, it might be a place you went on a picnic. I'll tell you my best experience of picnic. It was when I was in college, and we went to Vajra Falls. That is a place that we have in Karnataka, and I went there with my friends, and we were four of us. So we took a bus from a college. We did not have bike those days, so we had to go by bus. So we took a bus and we got down at a village nearby that is near to the Vajra Falls, and it was we trekked, we walked around 5 kilometers, and it was downhill. So we walked 5 kilometers downhill, and that was one of the most wonderful experience I had with my friends, because just before we went there, in the next week, there was a fire in the jungle, and the forest officers had made a strict rule that nobody should trespass, nobody should walk in that particular area where we were, and people who walked there would be prosecuted. And we were not from that place, so we had no idea. And we walked through the village, but nobody told us. So we were in a big soup, and there we go. We walked about 2 or 3 kilometers downhill. We are in the middle of the jungle. 2 kilometers we have Vajra Falls. 3 kilometers we have the village, and there we are caught by the forest officers. Uh, we were young, so we explained why we were there. They tried to scare us, but at the end, we made friends. We made friends with those forest officers. So it was interesting because they took us to the place where they actually stay. So it was a sort of a tree house. So they made tea for us, and we had some snacks. So we went to Ajra Falls, and we came back. It was an adventurous time. I was about 19 years old then. It was really a wonderful time. So you guys can think about something that was special, about something that you experienced. Now I told you it can be last year, it can be yesterday. Your experience can be yesterday. It can be about 100 years old. I know nobody, not even not in India that we live 100 years old. But anyway, so the point is, um, how old the action is determined by the adverb of time and the frequency that we give it to. But the tense is very simple. I wake, present. I woke is simple past. When did you wake? Depends on. I woke last year at 10 o'clock. I woke yesterday at, you understand? Yesterday, last year. So you can think about. So how can you talk about your experience in the past? First, I suggest that you take a pen and a paper until language becomes intrinsic inside you, very, very natural for you, where your range of vocabulary is really good. You don't have to think about what to say next. I suggest you make a habit of using the right words at the right time, and that habit can be made up by you sit with a pen and a paper, think about, like in this case, about the experience that you had. What all did you do there? Did you eat food? Did you eat food with your friends? Right? Did you do any sort of a trekking? Did you walk up the hill, walk down the hill? Did you see something, sightseeing? Did you watch a movie with friends? Did you get into a fight? Now make a list of all the actions, right? I got into a fight. Okay. And did you fall sick? Did someone help you? Right. And did you get scared? Imagine you camped somewhere. How was the night? So make a list of things first, action verbs, and then one by one look at those action words and try and make a simple past sentence that makes sense. Okay? And to begin with, that's how we start, one sentence at a time. But slowly, when your range of vocabulary increases, your expression increases, then that's how your language also increases. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask you, we are going to look at that previous slide. Yeah. Did, look at that. Did he what? Walk. So if you can look in the chat section, um, I played with my friends. So can you make a question with that? Did he let me type it for you. I played with my friends. How do you make a question? Did he play with his friends? Okay. I washed my bike. Did he his bike? Okay. I went for a walk in the local park. Did he go for a walk in the local park? Right? Yeah. I had my breakfast in a restaurant. Did he have his breakfast in a restaurant. Okay. Now, why did I show you this? Because we're going to have a small activity. I will definitely help you through, but I will give you 30 seconds or 1 minute to think about. Okay. This is a guessing activity. So basically, I'll tell you a situation, and you'll have to find out why it didn't happen. Okay. Um, a man jumps. Okay, listen to the question very carefully. A man jumps from the building. Okay, on top of the building, 100 feet building, and he doesn't fall down. He slowly lands. Okay, a man jumps from a 100 feet building, but he does not die. But he did not die. A man jumped from a 100 feet building, but he did not die. My question is why? He did not die, and my question is why? Now you can make questions for me, questions to ask with the same. Did he? What do you think? So take a minute time, all right, and guess. You can guess what happened. A man jumped from a 100 feet building, but he did not die. So you can ask questions like, did he have a parachute? Well, no, he didn't have a parachute. So think about questions like that. Think about what are the possibilities. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. So in 1 minute, make at least 7 or 8 questions. Think about a man jumping from a building, but he does not die. Um, you can think about the most ridiculous question. I don't mind. Did the genie help him? I don't know. Did Superman help him? I don't know. As long as you make a simple past question, yes no question, I'm happy about it. I'll also help you brainstorm. Um, did he jump in the water? Let's say no to keep the activity going. Um, uh, did he jump with a balloon? I said no. Okay. There. All right. So I'll ask one more question and we'll think about it. Um, a man escapes the jail, but he is not caught. Okay? A man escapes from the jail, but he is not caught by the police and they don't notice him. So how do you ask questions? Did he escape in the night? No. Did he break the cell? No. Did he uh, did he kill the jailer? No. Uh, did he change the uh, camera views of the cameras? No. Did he dig a tunnel? No. Did he? So look at that. I'm helping you, but you can play this game. Ask a ridiculous question and ask people to ask you questions for that. Okay. But what is the structure? Did plus subject plus root verb, because though the question is about simple past and did itself does the job of simple past, so you don't have to you don't say did he broke the window. No, it's did he break the window. All right. Okay, so let's quickly look at what we looked at today. We looked at past tense, and what is the definition of simple past? Simple past tense is used to talk about a completed action in the time before now. When I told you time before now is anything from this particular second. So we are literally rushing into future, right? So every second gone is into past. So and how the structure of the simple past remains same And how old the action is, the distance past the action duration is not important because it can be altered by using adverb of time. Okay, so the simple past tense we used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. The simple past, basic form of past tense in English. The time of action can be in the recent past or the distance past, and action duration is not important because it can be altered. Right? Do you remember that? And I give an example. India got its independence in 1947. That's about 17 years from now. My father died last year, just last year. He lived in Delhi in 1976. You can say he lived in Delhi in 1800s. That's also okay. It's grammatically right. It's just that you took the action a little more beyond its time frame. We crossed the river yesterday. I had idli for breakfast in the morning. Right. I didn't sleep well last night. Look at that. Last night in the morning, I met I met I met my old friend 5 minutes before. 5 minutes ago. Sorry, 5 minutes ago. Right. From 5 minutes, I met. So everything that we talk in the past, and we're not talking about. I also told you we're not talking about the result of that. The action of past also does leave a result. See, when you visit uh, when, when you visit Delhi, a place, that means you know Delhi already. So I have visited Delhi. When you say visit Delhi, you're just talking about what happened. I have visited Delhi about an experience. Okay? So you keep the action and its meaning in the past itself. Okay, so we looked at some frequency words. I told you when you want to talk about, let's quickly do a small activity on the frequency. We use sometimes, always. Okay, I'll ask you the question and you'll have to answer this question in your mind. And definitely I'll also answer this for you. But we'll think about childhood. Okay, what are the things that we do during childhood? Let's say school days, punished, right? Miss homework, money from father, okay, and let's say fight with friends and miss the classes. Now, we use often, sometimes, or always to answer these questions. Um, did you get punished in school days? No, you can use often, sometimes, or always. So if you are one of those famous students, you will have to say, I always got punished. Okay, or I sometimes got punished. Most people get punished sometimes. I sometimes get punished. Okay, uh, did you uh, did you carry your lunch box to school? I always carried lunch box to school. Did you fight with your friends? I sometimes fought with my friends. Not fight with my friends, fought with my friends. Um, did you steal money? Uh, did you steal money from your father's pocket? Now, one frequency is not given. There is never. Okay, you can also add never there. Did you steal money from your father's pocket? I never stole money from my father's pocket. Okay, so look at that. So talking about the habit, past habit. We can use frequency words sometimes, always, often. All right. And we looked at structures of the sentence: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Interrogative means to ask questions, yes, no questions. Okay. Now, did I walk? Is a yes, no question. If I have to make a WH question, all I have to do is WH question word, add before did. When did I walk? Where did I walk? Why did I walk? Okay, let's ask it here. Make some sense. Where did he walk? Why did he walk? When did he walk? What did he walk on? Okay. How did he walk? That's a style. Where? It's a place. Why? You want a reason. When? You need a time. Okay. So that can be WH questions with that. So we looked at affirmative and negative and interrogative. Let us make one more. Let us take two or three verbs, two verbs, and get on with all of this affirmative, negative, and interrogative once again. Let's think about the word let's think of the word arrive. I arrived in Hyderabad. I didn't arrive. Did I arrive? Now that's did I arrive question. It looks like you just came out of hell. Uh, just for the grammatical thing you have put there. People don't ask questions like that unless you're forgotten. Uh, okay, you arrived. You did not arrive. Did you arrive? Right? He arrived. He didn't arrive. Did he arrive? Now let's change the verb to uh, what are the verbs? Okay, use type, right? Commonly type. Okay. I typed. I did not type. Did I type? You typed. You did not type. Did you type? Right? It can be anything. All right. So affirmative, negative, interrogative. I hope today's class was useful, and I hope you have understood it. So think about simple, the homework that I gave you. Sit down, think about one of the most memorable moments that you had in the past. Think about all the actions you did. Put them in a paper first. Only the action words. Then by one make you build an idea towards that particular wish that you have done. Let's assume that you went with your friends on a school trip. So how did you go? By bus. So we went by bus. How was the ride? Was it noisy? Was it fun? Yeah, it was fun, right? And did the bus stop somewhere? Yes. Did you stop somewhere? That means the bus stopped somewhere. Yes, we stopped at a restaurant. And what did you do at the restaurant? We ate. We had fun. Uh, Something like that. So basically, you sit down, make a list of things that you have done so far, and then change the verb into past and try and make a sentence. Okay, and that would fix your simple past tense. So simple past tense is talking about past and how old the action doesn't matter. Um, the structure remains the same. Only the adverb of time should change. It was great. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope we'll see you next week. And if there are requests for grammar classes, specific things that you want to clarify, you can always write us back to subhas@englishcareers.com, and we will make a class on that. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.